To be or not to be, that is the question. That's the most famous line in English literature, and it's about whether life is worth living at all. In a world that's broken, in a body that suffers, under conditions that nobody chose, is it actually worth sticking around? 400 years later, Camus asked the same question. He opened his most famous essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, saying whether to off ourselves is the only truly serious philosophical question. Camus was writing in post-war Europe. The Holocaust had just happened, the atomic bombs had just dropped. 2 world wars had ended tens of millions of lives in just one generation. The old religious certainties had collapsed. The universe seemed, by every available measure, meaningless and indifferent to human suffering. Camus was asking plainly whether the rational response to a meaningless cosmos was to just end it. His answer was no, but not because life is beautiful, not because the universe had hidden meaning, not because happiness is achievable if you just try harder. His answer was that you should revolt. You should keep living, keep struggling, keep pushing the boulder up the hill, specifically as a refusal to give the absurd cosmos the satisfaction of breaking you. The continued effort is the meaning. The refusal to quit is the meaning. The fact that there's no cosmic justice and you keep going anyway, that is the meaning. And that brings us to Sisyphus. Sisyphus is condemned by the gods to push a boulder up a hill, watch it roll back down, and push it up again and again forever. An eternity of pointless, repetitive labor. Camus closed his essay with one of the most famous lines in 20th century philosophy. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. The quote is not actually about contentment. It's not about acceptance. It's not about finding inner peace with your fate. It's actually about defiance. Sisyphus is happy because he keeps pushing, because the act of refusing to give up is itself the meaning, even though there's no cosmic point to any of it. The happiness is in the refusal, not in pushing the boulder. The smile in Camus' original framing is the smile of a man looking at an unjust universe and saying, I refuse to let you defeat me. So what are we refusing actually? I think this is where I'm trying to make a point. We're refusing to give in to the absurdity of the human condition. We're refusing to accept that the boulder is the whole point of our lives. We're refusing to let a cosmos that produced cancer and earthquakes and stillborn babies and meaningless wars convince us that the only honest response is to just give up. But Camus was writing in 1942. In 2026, the absurdity has a more specific shape. We're not just pushing a metaphysical boulder anymore. We're pushing a boulder that was designed, a boulder that exists because a small number of human beings benefit from us pushing it. We slave away at jobs that we don't believe in to make wealthy people wealthier. We watch wars unfold on our phones, wars fought for reasons nobody can quite articulate, killing people who never asked to be born into the wrong country. We watch the planet burn while the people most responsible for burning fly in private jets. We work harder than any generation in living memory and still have less to show for it than our grandparents did. So who do we get angry at? Do we get angry at God for setting up the universe this way where all of this was going to happen? Do we get angry at the billionaires who are at least concrete and visible? Do we get angry at the systems, capitalism, empire, the slow grinding machinery of injustice? None of us built those things individually, but it's inside of all of us. Or do we get angry at our parents' generation who told us if we just work hard, we'd be okay? Do we get angry at ourselves for not having figured it all out yet? The honest answer is that there's no single target. The absurdity is everywhere. It is woven into the conditions of being alive, into the specific machinery of the moment that we happen to be living inside of. So if there's no clear enemy, why do we keep going at all? This is the question Camus was asking. Why push the boulder if there is no top? Why keep living if the universe is indifferent and the system is rigged and the suffering is real and the rewards are all illusory? What is the case, after all of this, for staying? His answer again was the refusal. Not because the refusal would fix anything, not because the gods would notice us and feel bad, not because the universe would eventually deliver justice if you wait long enough, but because the act of continuing to push, in full knowledge of the absurdity, is the only freedom available to a creature in your position. The gods wanted Sisyphus broken. He refuses to be broken. That is his freedom. The cosmos wanted you crushed by its meaninglessness. You refuse to be crushed. That is your freedom. The system wants you compliant and quiet and grateful for the scraps. You refuse to be compliant. That is your freedom. You're not pushing the boulder because you're told to. You're pushing it because the alternative is to surrender, and you refuse to surrender. The same act looks like submission from a distance and like defiance up close. The difference is internal. The difference is what you think and believe while you're doing it. Camus' Sisyphus smiles, but the smile is a smile of defiance. He's been condemned by capricious gods for offenses that were arguably not even wrong. The boulder is meaningless, the labor is endless, the system is unjust. And yet he keeps pushing, not because he's accepted it, but because the pushing itself is the refusal. Every time he reaches the top and the boulder rolls back down, he walks back down the hill with a smile and starts again. The gods wanted to break him. He keeps going anyway. That's what I want for you. Not the smile of acceptance, the smile of someone who has looked the absurdity in the face, this specific cosmic joke in 2026, and decided to keep going anyway. Not because the boulder matters, but because refusing to be broken by it is the only meaning available to creatures in our position. The cosmos didn't give us a reason to be here. The system isn't going to. Whatever meaning exists, we make in the act of continuing. So keep going, not because life is always beautiful, not because it always gets better, but because the alternative is to let them win, and we refuse to let them win. That's the answer to the only serious question. That's the fuck you at the heart of staying alive. What do you think? I'd love to know what you're refusing to give up on, what your boulder is, and what keeps you pushing it. I'm Daniel Yee. This is my psychology channel. Thanks for watching.